Good afternoon and welcome. Here is Sunshine Reports. I am Omoshiliona Adesoyajayi. Over 100 young persons with disabilities and special needs have undergone entrepreneurship training during a 3-day capacity building workshop organized by Girls to Women Research and Development Center G2W in partnership with the Enterprise Development Center and the Mastercard Foundation in Akure. The executive director of G2W, Olamide Falano, said the training was a proactive step towards economic inclusion for persons with special needs.
In Akure, the Ondo State capital, a transformational 3-day training workshop equipped over 100 participants, many living with physical, visual, hearing impairments and albinism with practical business skills. The training was part of the Transforming Nigerian Youth project aimed at empowering marginalized groups through entrepreneurship. Participants aged between 18 and 35 were taken through intensive sessions that covered business development, marketing strategies, financial literacy, digital skills, and growth planning. The EDC coordinator, Jane Omojori, said the curriculum was tailored to meet the unique needs of participants and ensure they leave the program with actionable knowledge and confidence to launch or improve their businesses.
18 to 35 years, because we felt that that's the age whereby you make a decision on how to manage your businesses and run it effectively. Because I don't realize, I want to run businesses and they are doing it well. So, 3 days after businesses, they are so interactive, engaging. In fact, contribute in your class. Because I could see their level of intelligence. No.
The training environment was designed to be inclusive and supportive. Sign language interpreters, visual aids, and mobility-friendly access points ensured all participants could fully engage. Deputy Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly, Lolade Gbegudu, lauded the practical nature of the sessions and urged beneficiaries to use the skills acquired to create positive change in their communities.
From our interaction with them, we saw that we learned a lot of things in terms of our skills, capacity building, and types of relating with people in their businesses, how to relate, interact with the customers, and how to interact with other people within their communities and society. These are a lot of things what they have learned, and we have seen that in them. Have actually been responsive when it comes to some of these teachers, and it's a thing of joy to all of us that there's now ability in their own disability.
The executive director of Girl to Women Development Center, Olamide Falano, stressed that beyond knowledge, the workshop served as a platform for empowerment, inclusion, and economic.
Disability is not a barrier. Disability is not an ability. You are only differently able. So look inwards, bring out that humanity in yourself, look at that power in yourself, and achieve and point to any goal you want in life, and you will surely achieve it.
Participant engagement throughout the sessions was inspiring, and many expressed excitement about turning their business ideas into reality.
Yes, it helps a lot because it reminds us the money.
They have learned me how to know to manage my business, how to talk to my customers, how to gain more profit, and how to add more business to my business. So I'm very, very happy.
I benefit on how to interact with my customers, not to be too aggressive on customers, how I can manage my customers. Some customers are very difficult, so how we can manage and handle them.
The training wrapped up with a certificate presentation, marking a new beginning for participants ready to contribute meaningfully to their economy. Abdidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
In a bid to deepen youth engagement in governance and leadership, the Ondo State government has inaugurated the 3rd session of the Youth Parliament following a formal proclamation by Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa. The event marks a new chapter in promoting youth participation in the democratic process. Assembly correspondent now reports. The official inauguration of the Youth Parliament in Ondo State is sequel to its proclamation by Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa as a platform for young people across the 18 local government areas to contribute to governance, express their views on developmental issues. The initiative, the third in the series, is aimed at building youth capacity in governance, advocacy, and democratic participation. Governor Loke Ayedatiwa, represented by his deputy, Dr. Laide Adelami, who declared the Youth Parliament open, expressed the present administration's commitment to nurturing the next generation of political leaders.
I want to reiterate our administration's commitment to nurturing the young people of our state as responsible citizens and future leaders. This vision is at the heart of our youth development agenda, and the Youth Parliament serves as a vital framework for achieving this goal.
The governor charged the youth legislators to be purposeful, responsible, and visionary in their roles.
By the power conferred on me by the National Youth Policy 2019, I hereby proclaim the third Ondo State Youth Parliament inauguration this day, Monday, 7th July 2025. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Earlier in his welcome address, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Empowerment and Job Creation, Orioyi Gbaisomori, acknowledged the youth-friendly policies of the present administration.
I also wish to appreciate Mr. Governor for his unwavering support, commitment to the ideals of youth empowerment, which has strengthened the capacity of young people of our dear states.
The Speaker, Ondo State House of Assembly, Olamide Oladiji, assured of the Assembly's support and guidance to ensure that their opinion counts.
We make the environment comfortable for them, and then we make the Halo Chamber, the mini Halo Chamber, available for them, and we promise the SSC to Mr. Governor for youth, and they should count on our support at that time. And why? Because the youth, they are the engine room of the larger society.
Also, the Youth Parliament Speaker, Ayo Shedrack, promised that the Parliament will amplify the voice of the youth and ensure they play active role in policy making in the states.
Our assembly is going to solve 70% of Ondo State's problem. And because the youth sector is the biggest sector, of course, we are the innovators, we are the creators, and we are the most dominated and most energetic section of society.
The 2-year non-renewable session is expected to deliberate on key youth-focused areas such as education, employment, digital innovation, and mental health. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News. The Ondo State government has announced the academic calendar for the 2025-2026 school session in the state, according to a circular issued by the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. The first time will commence on September 15, 2025 and run for 14 weeks until December 12, 2025. There will be a midterm break from October 31 to November 3, 2025, while the first term holiday will last 3 weeks from December 15, 2025 to January 2, 2026. The statement said the second term is scheduled to begin on January 5, 2026 and continued for 13 weeks until April 2, 2026. According to the statement, the third term will run for 12 weeks starting from April 27, 2026 and end July 24, 2026. The circular directs all public and private schools in Ondo State to adhere strictly to this calendar and instructs schools to observe all public holidays declared by federal and state governments. And following a meeting with the Ondo State government, the Joint Action Committee of Ondo State-owned tertiary institutions has announced the immediate suspension of their ongoing 14-day warning strike. The strike involved staff from Adekunle Ajashin University Akungba Akoko, Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology Okitipupa, University of Medical Sciences Ondo, and Rufus Giwa Polytechnic Owo. The committee comprises the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, National Association of Academic Technologies, NAT, and Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Polytechnic, SANIP. A statement by the Joint Action Committee said the decision to suspend the strike follows several key resolutions reached with the state government, including the payment of final tranche of the wage award, settlement of 20 outstanding January 2017 subventions to 3 universities to help offset arrears owed to staff members. Others include approval to increase monthly subventions to all tertiary institutions subject to thorough review of their income and expenditure reports, and commitment from the government to support the implementation of technological systems to monitor the financial activities of these institutions. The Joint Action Committee expressed gratitude to the government for the positive engagement and urged continued collaboration for the advancement of tertiary education in Ondo State. Graduating with a degree in civil engineering from the University of Science and University of Technology, Akure Futa, should have marked the beginning of another chapter for Bashola Jamiu. Instead, his journey took a night marriage turn until a wave of student-led advocacy helped bring justice. Caught between a university that stood by him and a federal agency that insisted his university admission never existed, Jamiu's case sparked outrage and forced a national reckoning. But now, there is a twist in the tale and a glimmer of hope. Abidemi Akinrotoye reports on how pressure from student bodies like NANS turned despair into vindication.
For years, Bashola Jamiu did everything right. He passed his entrance exams, gained admission, or so he believed, into FUTA in 2017, and graduated 7 years later with an excellent degree in civil engineering. He looked forward to mobilization for the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, until it all came crashing down. JAMB rejected his application, claiming he was never admitted in the first place.
5 years to 6 and the RBS due to Corona and ASU. So after I'm done, the moment I said, let me just go back home and just feel relaxed. And the day I got that, okay, well, this thing is actually a kind of fake admission, my head wants to blow. Honestly speaking, my head wants to blow. And the day I really got to know that it seems that JAMB is standing on this ground that is actually fake. The more, I got deeper into the depression. Even a day before I wrote my JAMB, I had a severe attack. I was like almost paralyzed. I just have to force myself to go and write that JAMB. And that is why I believe that even after 250, because my aim is just to have maybe something like 400 over 400 in JAMB.
With no record on the Central Admission Processing System, CAPS, Jamiu's future looked bleak.
All years of my labors and efforts, to do things the right way, to try and make a difference in the journey of in our academic journey. Because I'm a mentor to a lot of students in my school.
As confusion turned to crisis, protests erupted, students rallied, social media buzzed. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, took up its course, describing his plight as an assault on the future of Nigerian youth. NANS issued a 7-day ultimatum to JAMB and threatened nationwide protests. Their prayer paid off. In a major breakthrough, NANS announced that Bashola's name has now been uploaded on JAMB's portal, confirming his admission and clearing the way for his NYSC mobilization. FUTA, from the onset, had insisted that Jamiu was duly admitted and graduated through due process. The university submitted all relevant documentation to back its case. While JAMB initially stood its ground, student activism, amplified by national media, appeared to have forced a re-evaluation. The development has been widely celebrated as a victory for students' voices, but also a sobering reminder of how fragile Nigeria's admission system can be. Legal analysts say Jamiu's ordeal may have been avoided with better institutional synergy and a transparent admissions audit mechanism.
I will blame the authority, and I even advise the student, the graduate,
to sue, even for delaying him at the police custody or whatever. I think I heard that he was actually later detained for some hours. Is contrary to what the law said.
Now, you have deprived this individual with first-class brain. You have deprived him of going to service. You have demoralized him. You have made him to even lose faith in the process. You have scandalized him. They have to mop their mess. JAMB has to mop his mess. If they don't do that, they are not going to find it very cool in court if the guys should decide to go to court against them. And we are already considering that step.
Educational stakeholders are now calling for a full-scale review of CAPS, warning that Jamiu's case may not be an isolated one.
Going on social media has nothing to do with the fact that he graduated from FUTA. Has nothing to do with the fact that he was admitted for mechanical engineering. Has nothing to do with the fact that he had 2-1 in mechanical engineering. See, we are talking about somebody's destiny here. Nigeria has a way of killing the dream of his youth. Later they will say we are lazy. Please get the point clear. FUTA admitted this candidate because FUTA saw the students as a JAMB candidate and he chose FUTA. And they have admitted him, he has graduated.
What advice is that please make sure that you secure your proper admission, not that just continue to attend school without assuring yourself that yes, I did a valid admission, I did a valid matriculation. Because why the school is supporting that young man is because he did valid matriculations.
For Bashola Jamiu, the nightmare is ending, but the national conversation is stories part is just beginning.
Should look at how they could work, collaboratively with the examination body to ensure that none of their students experience this kind of thing in future.
For now, Jamiu prepares to join thousands of his peers for NYSC, not just as a graduate, but as a symbol of resilience and a testament to the power of collective action. Abdidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
As Nigeria edges closer to the 2027 general elections, the African Democratic Congress ADC is beginning to draw attention with a number of politicians reportedly crossing over from more established parties. This trend has sparked conversation about whether ADC could emerge as a credible third force in Nigeria's political space. Osrc's Omori Olambiji takes a look at what this could mean for the future of the party and the country.
The political season is gathering steam, and the African Democratic Congress is gradually becoming a destination for politicians looking for a new platform. Reports from across Nigeria indicate a growing number of politicians joining the African Democratic Congress, ADC, intensifying discussions about the party's rising influence ahead of the 2027 elections. Such shifts are not new in Nigeria's democracy. Ondo State saw a similar wave in 2006 to 2007. While Nigeria experienced such shifts are not new in Nigeria's democracy, Ondo State saw a similar wave in 2006 to 2007, while Nigeria experienced it in 2014 to 2015. Now, it appears to be the ADC's turn. But the big question remains, can the ADC offer a genuine alternative to the APC and PDP? A scholar, Dr. Gbenga Abimbola, notes that these movements may not reflect any shift in ideology.
Some of them who have rushed to the ADC now, they've been in government. Some of them, Amechi and Co., they've been in government since 1999. So the likes of Amechi have only, even including Rufai was minister. So under Obasanjo since 1999. Now he was first as Bureau of Public and Enterprises, later minister, FCT, and all the rest. These guys have been in government since 1999. They have barely been out of government for just about 2 years, and they are not satisfied.
Veteran journalist Martins Oloja says the party must go beyond defections and build solid structures to avoid becoming a refuge for the politically displaced.
If they can tame their own ambition, this one wants to be presidential candidate, this one wants to be presidential candidate, even those people who should be developing, who should be statesmen, they still want to run. Some people, you say, if I don't become a presidential candidate, that is, you remember that even one of their traducers, one of the person generally believed to be destroying them now, wanted to be a presidential candidate. He was not presidential candidate. Then he wanted to be running mate. They didn't allow him, so he moved away to sabotage the presidential candidate of that same political party like PDP.
Analyst Lekon Olajobi stresses the crucial role of a strong opposition in a healthy democracy, but warns that many political parties suffer from a lack of clear ideology and long-term vision, noting that this deficiency undermines their effectiveness and ability to offer credible alternatives to the ruling government.
Every viable democratic setting is supposed to be an opposition. And the major function of the opposition is to allow the government of the day stand on its toes to make sure the dividends of democracy promised through their campaign and manifestos are given and are implemented to the latter for the benefits of the people.
So, can the ADC rise above the noise to become a real alternative for Nigerians?
Or what becomes of them is another ballgame. Because as yesterday, Peter Obi still reiterated that he was good to contest for presidency and that he was not ready to be a running mate to anybody. So at the end of the day, we are going to see the game unfolding. We are still in 2025 for crying out loud. We still have the whole of 2026 before we enter 2027, the election year. So, but the only thing I am happy about is that this coalition is good for Nigeria just in one aspect of putting the APC government on its toes, so that the APC, Tinubu and APC cannot continue to just rule us with impunity, taking us for granted. But beyond that, I've not seen any redemption. I've not seen any salvation. I've not seen anything that is going to benefit us in that coalition, because those guys that have ganged up together, they are no better than Tinubu and those running Nigeria for now.
With many interests now rallying under the ADC banner, all eyes are on whether the party can manage its internal politics and deliver a clear plan for the country's future. Omoriola Mbuji, Osrc News.
And that's Sunshine News. Thank you so much for watching. Good afternoon.